Maybe you could begin by giving us a sense of how these programs are going. How do you proceed them? How do you evaluate them? Is the momentum what you'd expected, and what steps ought to be taken next? Mr. Prime Minister, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. I think that the overall message is that the REDD Plus program, the work to try to reduce and eventually at the end stop deforestation, is going quite well. And the main reason for that is that national governments in the countries like Indonesia, Guyana, Brazil, they are making a tremendous effort. So the main efforts are made by national governments, and we shall never forget that. Then, of course, the international community, different countries can support the national efforts. And we do so, and the reason why Norway is so engaged in this is that we have looked at all the different options. How can we reduce emissions of greenhouse gases? And without any doubt, addressing deforestation is the way we can have the largest, the fastest, and the cheapest reductions in emissions of carbon dioxide. So it's just a question of, in a way, being cost effective. And I think it's important that to show the world that it helps, that something is happening, and when it comes to deforestation, we see a positive development, and we should be encouraged by that.
So, Dr. Kuntoro, could you give us a feeling for what does Indonesia hope to achieve through the REDD Plus partnership with Norway?
Thank you for a nice introduction, and especially to you, George. Keep on introducing me in such a, what do you call it, excellent way. And also your understanding about the Asia forest is just like mine. But when it comes to deforestation, carbon, those kind of things, technical terms that sometimes we don't understand what it's all about, here in Indonesia, it is directly related or should be related with poverty, people's welfare. Not only those living close to the forest or inside the forest, nationwide. So basically what we are doing there in Indonesia is not just introducing this reduction of emission, but we are introducing a new paradigm of development. And the ramification of this is some or almost all of the government structure should be transformed to support all this. The real challenge, that is the real challenge. Not to mention about corruption, that we know about that already. Lousy bureaucracy, we know that. Geography of Indonesia is huge. From tip to tip, it's just like Boston to San Francisco, but two-thirds are water. So that's a problem. We have so many indigenous people that we have to take care. So these are challenges, but basically the real challenge is in the transformation itself. So we need your support and make this Norway Indonesia as a model for a worldwide partnership. That's my hope.
Final word to President Jagdeo. You're over your years in sustainability.
Yes.
What else, what other tools do you need?
Sure. We have decided to protect our entire forest, which is bigger than England. We said we'll do so without trading sovereignty over the forest, but with partners like Norway and the others. That the money earned from preserving our forest through a REDD Plus scheme will go into education, health, generation of catalyzing clean power through a hydro, transform the village economies of indigenous peoples, etc. That is creating alternatives. We have raised expectations in the country. I have 3 projects. Let me tell you briefly what they are. One, to give every Amerindian home, every indigenous home, a solar panel. Secondly, a project to hire surveyors to demarcate Amerindian lands so I can accelerate the titling. And thirdly, a project to give small grants for the transformation of their village economies, maximum $25,000 per community. We have decided, we've taken the tough political decision to pledge our entire forest. But that doesn't make a success story. A generous donor and a committed country. So we have delivered the results, we can't get them, and then someone is telling us how we have to spend our money too. So we need a good global agreement, deep emission levels, so that it will bring in the private sector in financing REDD activities, which would make the Guyana model sustainable. In the long run, we don't have to rely just on public financing and goodwill of generous governments like Norway, and this would be good for the world too, and all REDD countries, and it would be good for our climate. We limit it to 2 degrees Celsius. Thank you.
And suddenly you have to face the realities that people can protest because they're not used to this new way of managing things.